Zero to Hero. I'm excited to be welcoming you to our program Zero to Hero. This program comes to you every Monday evenings through our YouTube channel, Ringo TV. This program comes to you into looking on profiles of many successful rich people and how they began their journey to success. Many of these successful people that today we label as millionaires and billionaires began from absolutely nothing, and many of them have got long life changing journeys and stories to tell us. And this is the main aim and objective of this program, is to teach you, is to motivate you, inspire you, and empower you to learn and understand how to tap into God's divine blessings so that you can come out of your comfort zone and tap into those blessings to become successful. To want to be able to become successful must have a mindset of the rich. So one must be able to excel successfully through that route. Welcome to the program. Stay tuned. Today in the program, I'm honored to have one of the most articulate, world-class trainer and speaker of our time, Dr. Ringo Mowo. Welcome to the program, Dr. Ringo.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Yeah? Did you have a good day today?
Yeah, definitely.
Great stuff. Dr. Ringo, briefly give us a brief history on what ignited the spark in you to begin the three companies that you own, and what was the main idea for these companies?
I'm always passionate to see people becoming successful. And my vision and my goal is always to make other people successful. So I've been always striving to make other people happy and successful in their life, to live their God-given potential, to live their God-given talents. So it is always my ambition to see people becoming very, very successful in their life, enjoying their life.
Absolutely. What are the main companies that you own?
I'm currently having three companies, one dealing with construction business as well as transport, but also I have another company dealing with business consultants, which is You Can Be Rich, the company that was designed to create millionaires and billionaires in the world. It is principle centered to abolish poverty in the world.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a great drive. That's very good. All right. Kindly take me through to three skills that you believe will get an entrepreneur to be successful. Three skills.
Number one is leadership. For any person to be successful in this world, leadership is key, because we believe things happen, things do change, things get developed, things get improved because of leadership. If you want to be successful in any career, in any business, leadership is the topmost skills that one needs to attain. And number two is sales skills. In business, we produce products and services not to keep in a stock, but to sell, to make sure that the products and services reaches the market. So, as a business person, sales skills is key. And number three, at least you need to know some basics on accounting, to understand the profitability, the balance sheet, how to understand all these sort of numbers to measure your progress on day-to-day basis. You need to know, are you making profit or are you making loss? Are you improving on your investment of on your assets? So you need to understand a little bit of accounting, not necessarily to be so deep.
Right.
If you can't be deep, you're able to be deep, it's well and good, but at least you need to know the basics. So three skills: leadership, sales, and at least accounting.
Right.
If you could ask me, the fourth
Go
should
on.
be law.
Okay.
You need to protect your business, so you need to understand the basics about law.
Great. Okay. Let's move on to the next question. Um, what have been some of your failures, and what have you learned from those failures?
For any successful business person, you have to go through challenges and failures, and it's a guaranteed. If you try to go into business, um, failure and sometimes defeat is always guaranteed. I've failed, if not 1,000 times, maybe a million times. I've been trying to do so many businesses.
Okay.
In all of my life, I've been pushing myself, trying. So I've failed a couple of times. Maybe I can cite one simple example on the business. There was a time I and my friends, we established a company. It was a transport company, but I think I was not very smart in choosing the business partner to work with, and therefore, because of that weakness, my business, our company failed. We didn't perform,
Right.
and the company was died.
Right.
So failure is always guaranteed. But through that failure, I learned a lot of stuff. Number one, to choose the right people to work with, to choose the right people to partner with, and what were the key issues if you want to go into partnership with somebody. So I learned a lot of skills that when you want to go into business with someone, it's not just the issue of knowing person, maybe you went to school together, or is your relatives, is your friend, or is your partner, maybe a wife or husband. It's not all this.
All right.
It's all about typical business basics and the fundamentals that you need to adhere to.
Right.
It's not the relationship. Because we say in business, business is a separate entity. It stands on its own. It depends on its own. If you try to mix the family issues, the friendship, the partnership that you have with a person to go into business relationship, it doesn't work.
Okay.
It has to be principle centered on the fundamentals of the business.
Great.
Yes.
That makes a lot of sense. Thank you. All right. My third question will be, what has been your greatest fear, and how do you manage fear? Because obviously, to become rich, there's so many challenges, and most of us find ourselves, fearing to rise above, fearing to think, and basically go outside of our comfort zones. We are so much used into just being constrained into what we are used to do and falling into the principles of everyday life, the customs we have, been born to. Talk us through that. What has been your greatest fear, and how did you manage to overcome fear?
Always my greatest fear is fear of losing a customer. I believe the success of my businesses is centered on the customer. For me to progress, advance in terms of profitability and balance sheet, I don't need to lose a customer, not even a single customer. I value all the customers, the big and small customers, including the prospects. So the biggest fear for me is to lose a customer, always. And they have been always striving to find ways and means, one, to get the customer, two, to retain the customer, and three, to grow with the customer. That is always my thinking. I spend most of my time think about my customer. How can I make my customer grow with me? How can I make my customer not to think about the competitor? How can I make my customer always, whenever they want to buy a product or service, they should always come to me? That is always my thinking.
Wow, great. Okay, thank you. The fourth question will be, how long do you stick to an idea before you give up on it?
As long as I can, but it is all depending because idea is always subject to change depending on the circumstances, the environment, the trends. You cannot to stick to an idea which is not proportional to the trend. You have to find and study and research to understand if this idea that you want to develop today to become a product or service for the market, is it proportional to the trend? And if yes, then you stick to that idea and you push it to become acceptable to the market. But if you find it's not relating or proportion to the trend, then you need to think twice, and possibly you need to drop such an idea, because it will eventually fail, because trend is always the key thing. People goes with the trend. So it is a function of a business person to constantly keeps on improving the idea to match with the trend, to match with the flow, with the need of the market. Not what you want, but what the market wants. You give the product or service based on what the customers want, not what you want. So you have to match with that.
Okay. All right. And also, if you can kindly advise the young generation of the current era into becoming rich entrepreneurs, what will be, I know you've spoken about 4 skills to take one to become a successful entrepreneur. Briefly, tell us, what do you believe could be the supreme thing that anybody would have to rely on first and foremost to become successful before you go into those skills that you mentioned earlier?
Number 1 is to believe on God, because the success of a human being is fundamentally dependent on God. Our health depends on God. Our health is not subject to money that we possess, is not subject to the material possession that we have. Our health is subjected to the grace of God. So I would advise any young guys who wants to develop or advance into business, they should put their focus and dependence on God, number 1, because the fear of God is the beginning of every blessings. That's very, very important.
Absolutely.
And number 2 is to find your purpose.
Okay.
Every human being has been designed and created with his own purpose or her own purpose. So the moment you discover your purpose, why do you exist? What is the reason of you being in this world? If you discover your purpose and you passionately pursue that purpose, forget about everything, regardless what people they're saying, follow what God has designed you to be, and doing the things that will push you towards your purpose, you will be an amazing person. You will attract whatever amount of money you want in this life. So purpose is number 2. Number 3 is vision. You must be a person with vision, because vision will be like a pilot, will be like a guide, which will show you the direction and the paths that you should go. Vision is very key. And number 3, you must set some goals, both short-term goals and long-term goals, and consistently pursuing with high level of discipline, doing the goals in milestones, day in, day out. You eventually get to what you are dreaming to become.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ringo. It's been a pleasure having you in the show. Thank you. Well, viewers, I'm pretty convinced and very positive. All of you have been blessed. You have learned something. Keep subscribing to our YouTube channel, Dr. Ringo, TV into basically getting more quality knowledge on how to become rich, how to have that rich mindset to rise beyond the skies, because obviously the limit is not in the sky, it is in your mind. So once one is able to first believe in God and then have purpose, and the next thing will be vision, and then goals, long term and short terms, you are able to go and rise above the skies. It's in the mind. Set your mind to rise high as an eagle. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you, Dr. Ringo.
Thank you.
Pleasure to have you here today.
Thank you. God bless our viewers.
Thank you.